Well, a good Sunday to you. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. This is the Fox 26 Tropical Update. I'm meteorologist John Dawson. We make this update just for YouTube because we know you're here looking for that information. Maybe you're here in Southeast Texas where we are at Fox 26 in Houston, or maybe you're somewhere way around the world. But we're glad you found us, glad you want to know what's going on in the tropics. As always, encouraged to subscribe to the channel if you get a chance. And we'll start by saying that the National Hurricane Center has said enough with two systems. That's not very normal. Usually they just sort of take one at a time when they're finished with them. But we're going to knock two off the board here that we're no longer monitoring from the National Hurricane Center. That's going to of course, start with Lee. So Lee continuing, all of the warnings have ended for up into the Atlantic portions of Canada, as well as the northeastern portions of the U.S. And now continuing to watch Lee sort of just fall apart a little bit. So we had already been calling it post-tropical just because it lost its characteristics of a cyclone. But now it's even been again finished with as far as the observations, or at least the advisories, I should say, from the National Hurricane Center. They'll still kind of keep an eye on things, I'm sure, but at this point, not a concern. And Margot is also going to be one that the Hurricane Center says, I think we're done with Margot, at least for now. We've been watching Margot kind of spin in a circle out here in the middle of the Atlantic, and that's kind of what's going to happen here with whatever's left of Margot. Eventually, the remnants of it will sort of wander around a little bit out there. But definitely something to be talking about is Tropical Storm Nigel. We're going to dive into Nigel here in just a minute, but I want to start with that next area of concern that we've been watching, this tropical wave coming off of the coast of Africa. The large orange shaded area, of course, where the Hurricane Center thinks it could develop into a tropical depression over the next 7 days. So over the next couple of days, not looking for anything. But when we get a little further out, we have the possibility 3, 4, 5 days from now, we could see that tropical depression trying to form somewhere in our orange shaded area here. Currently looking at a 40% chance that could take place. So now we get to Nigel. Nigel is currently a tropical storm, a pretty strong tropical storm as a matter of fact. Maximum sustained winds at around 65 miles an hour. Keeping its movement, though, over 10 miles an hour, still at 13 miles an hour to the northwest at the moment. And you can see it's struggling. It's trying to kind of get itself a little better organized, and I think it will do so over the next 24 hours. Strong enough or organized enough that it will become stronger and be classified as a hurricane very soon. As a matter of fact, it could jump up to a Category 2 hurricane with some rapid intensification. We've been seeing that with storms recently, and that's certainly the possibility here where by this time tomorrow we could have maximum sustained winds at 100 miles an hour, and then even jumping to 115 miles an hour on Tuesday, and then those cooler waters, a little bit of winds also in the upper levels sort of tearing at it a little bit. When we get into Wednesday, it's starting to weaken, and then for sure getting up into the cooler temperatures again further to the north. Definitely looking at that weakening to take place, and we'll speed up a little bit as well as we get towards the end of the week. So Nigel going to be around for a while, most likely going to become a hurricane by tomorrow. So maybe even the 10 p.m. update would reach that hurricane status because, as we talked about, the current maximum winds are at 65, get 75, and you'll have that hurricane on your hands. So let's talk about those seasonal outlooks and the updates that we've seen from Colorado State University as well as NOAA and what's been happening. Just sort of a quick update. Colorado State University, I think it was their it was the beginning of August. I'm not sure if it was the first, what the specific date, but the beginning of August update increased to a total of 18 storms were expected, 8 hurricanes, 4 of those becoming major hurricanes. NOAA, again, with their August update, increased their numbers as well. Pretty similar overall in what the expectations were, and it certainly happened when we got it took all of August. It really took into September before the activity really picked up, but it certainly did quite quickly. And currently we've got 5 total storms. 15 total storms, 5 of those hurricanes, 3 of those majors. Now, I do always like to put a little asterisk here and just sort of remind everybody that we clarified by the National Hurricane Center post clarification that in January, there was a tropical storm that never was formally named. So there are 15. It doesn't match up quite perfectly with our letters that we're on now. Instead of 14, we've actually had 15 for the year because they posted that one from January that they identified after the fact. So 15 total storms this year, 5 hurricanes, 3 of those major. That's what has happened. In a normal year, an average season, we use a 30-year average, and the current 30-year average has 14, 7, and 3. So we're now above average as far as the number of storms that we've had, named storms. And then we've gotten a total of 5 hurricanes and 3. So we're a little behind on the hurricanes, but I think Nigel is going to begin to catch us up a little bit on that, right? Because we are expecting Nigel to become a hurricane. Ophelia is going to be the next name on our list. So if that tropical wave that's off the coast of Africa right now continues to develop, Ophelia will be the next name that we're looking for on our list for 2023. Glad again you found us here on YouTube. Just so you're aware, if you want to look for my YouTube page, you search Meteorologist John Dawson. I have all of my hurricane gear tests there. Fantastic resource. It's all really organized and easy to find everything, and just go back and look and see how you're doing and how some of these ideas that I'm able to present to you. Again, YouTube, Meteorologist John Dawson is the best way to find me. If you want to look me up on some other social media, that would be great as well. I'm very active on Instagram, by the way, if you want to interact somewhat. Tell me where you are. Tell me where you're watching. That would be fun for you. Maybe I'll even like a picture of yours or two as well. Thanks for checking in with us. As always, every day of hurricane season, we're doing this. So we'll be back tomorrow afternoon with another update.